Fest. I used to organize that, which was really fun.
Yes.
But it was very fish-oriented and not, which is funny because has fish now.
Full circle.
Full circle. Yeah, but at the time I wasn't really creating very much art. I sort of went home stressed out every night and just kind of maybe a little doodle here or doodle there. And my art was very like graphite, black and white, not a lot of excitement or color, and I was still feeling very lost, and I didn't really know sort of who I was as an artist, what I was trying to say, if anything. And from there, I continued kind of along that path for quite a while. I worked at another place out in Langley, and I was part of New West Artists, the group, but I didn't participate very much. Yeah, and I felt very outside of the art world. So it wasn't actually until COVID happened and I got laid off of my full-time city job that I was very comfortable in. And then I realized while I was laid off that going back was probably the worst thing I could imagine. I didn't want to work for somebody anymore. I didn't want to sort of be just a cog in the wheel. So I took some time. I started practicing sort of painting different kinds of art, a lot of color theory. And then through the last 4 years is really when I started to kind of find myself. So my work has gone through a lot of ups and downs, and if you look at my Instagram, you can kind of see the archive of how that has happened over the years. And I went through a stage where I painted still life. I did a lot of skies and clouds and all of that. I went through sort of a like weird illustration stage. And then more recently, in the last 2 years, I decided what I really love is painting faces. So that's where my work has really gone from then. So that's just kind of a bit about me. I also am a bit of a ceramic artist. I'm not a potter. I make sculpture with ceramics, so it's a little bit different.
Cool, weird stuff, but I like it.
Yeah, super weird stuff. Well, I did a few pieces that are like little miniature houses, and then I built sort of weird front yards for them. You can kind of, and the idea was that it was about like you could tell who lives in the house. So but they never kind of went anywhere for me. I feel like that's a big journey with art, is that you end up doing a lot of things that don't really go anywhere, but they satisfy your creative sort of need at that moment. So I have a lot of those things. My apartment is 700 square feet and it is full to the brim. My studio is piled all the way to the ceiling, and it's crazy. So I know what you mean also by feeling constantly disorganized. It's nice to know that never goes away. I'll stop trying so hard. Yeah, so I'll just take you through some of my other pieces.
I love that.
So through my journey, I have sort of grabbed onto as many opportunities as I can. I, unlike Celeste, am very introverted, very quiet, and I keep to myself. This is kind of a new thing for me, sharing about my work. I'm a teacher, so I talk a lot, and I can talk loud, but I'm not great at talking about myself.
It's your day, baby.
Yeah, I do need to get better at this, so it's good. Yeah, so I started kind of trying to put myself out there, applying for as many opportunities as I can, and getting my work out onto Instagram and my website and all of that. I have an email list too where I share more sort of intimate stories, because putting it out to the whole world on Instagram is a little bit freaky. So anyways, this piece right here was created in conjunction with a musician. His name is Dougie Grieg, and he created a song called Lungs, and he was looking for an artist who could basically do a painting that embodied his song. And at the time, that was totally new for me. I'd never done anything like that before, but I thought, why not try, right? So we kind of workshopped some ideas, and I told him, let me just spend some time with the music, with the lyrics, and then I'll sketch it out, we'll see if you like anything. And so he ended up falling in love with the little tiny thumbnail sketch that I did that was very loose, but it gave him exactly what he wanted. So this is the piece that I created. I called it Breathe. I didn't want to copy the name of the song, but it's very much about sort of taking a breath and sort of regaining your, I guess, reason to live through that, and just kind of refreshing yourself. So I wanted the painting to kind of have a bit of that feeling. In one of the lungs, there's supposed to be some dead flowers, and then the other is like bright and blooming and full of life. So there's a bit of that refreshing idea in there. This one is watercolor and gouache on paper, and it's a pretty small painting. And it's one of those ones that I find people have a lot of emotion about or connection to when they see it. So I think it works really well for the song. If you do want to see it or listen to the music, it's on Apple Music and Spotify, which is really cool. I will try to put a link on my website too, so people can